Ladies, we have to start taking care of ourselves before it is too late. I want to talk to you about how important it is to take care of our health, to take care of ourselves. I know you're like, oh Lord, Coach Lee, you always talking about this, taking care of your hair. But I think that a lot of us, when we're young, I remember when we were young, we are invincible. I always say that, whether it was a guy that gets in trouble, right? I have friends, I have relatives that would get in trouble with the law. And then they would say, I'm young, I could beat it. Now, I grew up in Miami, right? And they say, I could beat it. Okay, because they're young, so they think they're invincible. So a lot of times, you'll just keep doing something, or the enemy will allow you to keep doing something and putting in your head that you're getting away with something. But eventually, every dog has their day. And I have some relatives that have had their dog days, and I haven't seen them in over 25 years because they were invincible and they didn't think things would catch up with you, right? So I'm leading with that story because a lot of us, especially when it comes to women, we think that we're young. Remember, we talk about your extensions and things like that. You don't take care of your hair, or you don't wash your hair, or you got a whole bunch of hair and your hair is curly, so you don't like your hair curly. The other one is your hair is too short. It's not growing the way I need it to grow, so we do whatever. We have to be in a habit to take care of ourselves. And what does that mean? It means simple things like making sure that your hair is taken care of, whether it's just not just health-wise, but you're going somewhere getting your hair done, or you're taking care of your hair yourself. Washing it, conditioning, treating it, taking care of it. Your skin. We have now on Salon Talk, we have the celebrity makeup artist and the celebrity hairstylist. She's not just a makeup artist, she's also into skin, because she had a lot of issues with her skin. So she's really big on taking care of her skin. Actually, the next video we have, not video, but the next live, which is Lord's Will next Sunday, this Sunday coming up. I think that's the 8th, maybe 7th or 8th. I am not looking at my calendar. We're going to do, yes, black does crack, because a lot of us don't think black crack. So we think that we have the time and we could do whatever. So taking care of yourself is making sure your skin is lotioned, get that cocoa butter out, taking care of nourishing your skin, getting your nails done. It doesn't have to be the $100 nails, but just getting a manicure, right? Also your teeth, taking care of your teeth. It's weird that we're having this, I'm doing this video and it's like, what do you mean? But a lot of us don't take care of ourselves. A lot of us, say you may have had a baby or you become pregnant. A lot of us don't know that if we keep our skin moisturized with a cocoa butter, right? Or shea butter, just a lotion around that belly, you don't have to have stretch marks. My mom had 6 children and that's what she did, and she didn't have stretch marks. I had 2 children and I don't have stretch marks around my belly because I took care of myself. In the hardest of times when I was going through things in my life, I'm talking about from a young kid all the way up, my mom was a great example of no matter what went on, every day, she used this soap. I don't even know if they sell it anymore. It's called Tone, because Tone had like the shea butter in it, and then she would tell me to touch her skin and say it was soft. And I was like, ooh. And I always liked being soft. I like being feminine, right? But every week she would do her regimen. She would do her hair, or I would do her hair. But then she would take these nice baths and, make sure her body is all on point. She would, on payday with my dad, she would get dressed in his favorite outfit and heels, because she understood her femininity and he loved seeing his woman looking good, right? And so a lot of us, we may have had a baby, we done put on an extra 70 pounds. The first year, pounds are going to fall off, right? So that first year, that's baby weight. So some pounds will fall off. But if you know that you're overweight and you're not happy, sitting around the house and complaining is not going to do the job. You want to look like what you looked like before you had that baby. So we have to put in the work, and we're not victims. We have children. This is a part of life. We know we may gain some weight. Some people are lucky. I was one of the blessed ones. I had 2 kids and I remained 120 pounds. It wasn't until my parents passed away and I got older, I was in my 30s, that I started putting on weight because I was going through depression and all kinds of things. So, but I went through the depression, and then I told you guys, I got up to 180 pounds. Now I went from 74 pounds to having 2 kids to 120, 25 pounds. And then after my parents died, 180 pounds. And no one told me anything. I had to realize when I went to put my leg up to eat a bowl of cereal, you don't take it too far. So guess what I did? I went to my ex and I said, hey, can you get me a trainer? He immediately paid for the trainer. So there are different things that we have to maintain. If we don't do the maintenance on it while we're still young, by the time we get older, we're dealing with all kinds of issues. Now we got to take blood pressure medicine. We got thyroid issues. We got weight gain issues. You're trying to get it off. Now you're in your 30s and 40s, which is harder because that metabolism slows down, right? We are not taking care of our skin, for years on out. Now, men can do this. Men don't have to go get their feet done and their hands done because they're men. That's considered masculine. You get in the bed with your husband and he's like, oh my gosh, you need a pedicure. And he play with you because he got claws. Well, that's cute because that's a man. It's not cute when your husband say, baby, you done slice up the sheets. It's like, wait a minute. You understand what I'm saying? That's not cute. So a lot of us feel like, well, I got all these kids, or I have this going on, or I don't have the money. We don't have that. There's always a will. There's always a way. So if you can't go to a salon, now you can go to Amazon. You can order a row of colors, that you may like, earth tone colors, gel polish. The machine is no more than like $10 to $15 to polish your nails and go in there. You can do your manicures, your pedicures yourself. You got YouTube University that you can learn these things. So there's really no excuse of it. I always wonder, how come we have all of the excuses in the world while we can't get better, but we got 1,001 reasons why we can't eat all the food we want to eat. We can say the reason why I'm not taking care of myself because I got this man in my house and he treating me bad. He treating you how you treat yourself. Always know that. He value you like you value yourself. You don't value yourself. You waking up early in the morning, you eating garbage, right? Or you waking up early in the morning, or you haven't taken a bath. I don't know how women do that. 2 and 3 days. I'm like, wait a minute. I can't do that. I need at least 2 baths a day, right? So a lot of us have to learn to start taking care of ourselves now before it's too late. And then what happens is, as time goes on, we go through life changes in life. And when we go through life changes in life, now we're like, you know what? I got to get this going. Now you're at the doctor. They're saying you pre-diabetic. Now you want to change your diet and everything, right? Or a lot of us, now you need to get more work done. Now your skin is dry. So now you may have psoriasis or whatever the case may be, but it's from years of not taking care of yourself. Or you already know, if your hair, you were showing it was thinning and now you bald, and now you're trying to work and figure out what wig is going to work best for me. So now you got to live in this false sense of life, mandatory, or have to, because you didn't do the necessary steps from the beginning, right? You didn't say, hey, let me take care of myself. That's one thing I do thank God for. If it was not for my mom being an example when it came to womanhood and how a woman should take care of herself no matter what's going on. She had 6 kids, but every week she had a regimen because she had a husband, she had children, she had daughters that was watching her. And that's one thing Lydia Faye knew how to do. She knew how to be a woman, soft, spoke a certain way, handled herself a certain way because someone taught her. But she did it all through, and we had some rough times, y'all. I grew up in a very, my household, we saw a lot of things, a lot of bad things happen, but my mom never lost sight that she had to take care of herself because she understood if I don't take care of myself, eventually my girls and my sons are not going to take care of themselves. Now, there did come a time where my mom fell off. And once she did that, it was like a trickle effect because women have a lot of power. We don't realize it. We have power, right? And our power is in our femininity, is in our softness, right? And so my mom, she internalized a lot of things that was going on, right? So she got to a point where she was dressing up the outward appearance of her, but then I would see her many a times depressed and crying, and going through what she was going through, whatever the situation was, because she never dealt with the internal things, right? So she couldn't really be there for us as time went on, as I got older, because life had caught up with her, right? So my mom was a prime example as well. I'm thinking about it now, is that she was able to take care of her outer appearance, but inwardly, she kept a lot of things in. Y'all know we do that a lot. We will keep things bottled up, whether it's dealing with our children, whether it's dealing with our spouses, our significant others. We will keep things internally. So we have to not just focus on taking care of ourselves physically, but definitely the mental, because you know what happened? My mom ended up keeping all that stuff internally, and what happened next is she ended up, and my grandma taught me this, don't keep nothing bottled up, honey. If it's stressing you out too much, either if you can cut it off, or if you walk away, or you got to deal with it and heal from it. And my mom didn't do that. So then she said, because my grandmother was a 2-time cancer survivor. She said, because a lot of stress and anxiety can cause cancer cells, right? My grandma Glow told me this. I was like, wow. And she said, that's how I got cancer twice. But my grandma lived after that, after she beat the cancer, you know, she was a breast cancer survivor, right? After she beat it and she went into remission, it never came back. And when her children, she had 5 kids of her own. And you know, kids, you hold them on your knees when they babies. When they get older, you hold them on your heart. And they was making bad decisions. They grown men, grown women. And she would be like, they can't stress me out. I raised them. I did what I'm supposed to do. But I can't internalize that, because she understood the power of her making sure she took care of herself. So get your feet done. Your feet should not be scaly, and you should not be going to get your feet done when it's income tax season or Christmas time. That should be a regular thing that's being done. If you don't have the means for it, you can make a way. I'm gonna tell you something I always tell people. We pay for what we want to pay for. If I'm low on cash, but I see my lotion is going bad, trust me, I'm going to get that. Just the simple things, because I know I can maintain myself that way. My nails, if I don't have the money to get my nails done, guess what? There's an order coming now for me to get my package so I can do my own nails. There is so many ways for us to take care of ourselves. But if we don't start that now, then we will see the outcome of that as we get older. When you look at women like, I don't want to say Vivica Fox because they done did surgeries and stuff, but you look at people like Halle Berry, or you look at, I'm talking about some of the greats. Angela Bassett is a prime example, in her late 60s. Now I think she's like 66, 67. That lady looks good. Body-wise, she trained for Tina Turner movie, right? But then her skin and the way she carries herself, she takes care of herself. That didn't just happen where she finally hit it big, because remember, she came from Boys in the Hood. She wasn't making no money like that. That didn't come from her, from Tina Turner movie. She'd been taking care of herself. So now, as she's growing old gracefully, she has a class about her. Nia Long, she's in her 50s. Beautiful. Sanaa Lathan, in their 50s. And they giving the run for the money for the younger girls. But that was not something, they didn't take care of this. They didn't decide to say, hey, I'm in Hollywood, let me start taking care of myself now. No, they did it from the beginning to the end. Nia Long had children, right? Let me do it from the beginning. Let me create this habit, because when I know eventually I will get old and beauty will fade, but the beauty will fade into the age that I'm going into. So this video is to help you young ones out and to help those of you that are allowing out. I keep saying this and I will say it over and over again, because I am a person that did the same thing as many of the other women have done. You cannot love anyone. You can't learn a man and his habits and what he likes and doesn't like. You can't learn about your children and everything. You can learn about, let me take that back. You can learn about your children, your husbands. You can learn about your significant other. You can be the best aunt you want to be. You can be the best grandma in the world. But if you don't put yourself first and you don't invest and take care of yourself, you're going to deplete. And there will come a time in your life where you don't know where to turn left or right. You don't even know how to take care of yourself. Don't be that woman that's now trying to lose the weight in their 50s, got to do surgeries and all these different things. Now you got to pay for all this stuff for your skin. Now your feet look horrible, right? You done let that dead skin build up on it. Take care of yourself now. It is not attractive for a woman. We should be aging beautifully, especially us. You know what I mean? We should be aging beautifully. So ladies, learn to take care of yourself in the early stages of your life and make it a habit. Small things turn to big things, but make sure the big things are good. All right. I pray that this video has blessed you. I will see you guys on Salon Talk this Sunday coming up at 7 p.m. And we got 2 segments. We're talking about 2 different topics, but one of the topics is black does crack. All right. So I'm glad I did this video just to kind of help you guys understand and help you guys out. I'll see you then. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I love you guys. See you next video.